When you say do unto others, it goes beyond just treating somebody how you would want them to treat you. It's understanding how they might be seeing the world and treating them how you'd want to be treated if you were looking at the world in that way. Good morning. Today marks the first day of me being a little more planning about my videos. So I've decided what I'd like to do, since I'm always talking about A Course in Miracles, is to start reading the book again, which would be probably my third or fourth time reading it, but I get something from it every time I read it. But I also want to make it, whoa, there's a hawk right above me. Holy God, that thing was huge. It looked like it was going after a crow. That's weird. Sorry guys, but that was weird. There's like a huge brown hawk right above me. I wish you guys could have seen it. Maybe that's a sign. I don't know. Anyway, A Course in Miracles. I want to make it non-preachy, but I kind of want to go with what I'm learning through it, because every time I read through it, I feel this connection that I can't explain. So it resonates with me, and it calms me, and it seems to guide me, and I feel grounded. That's the only way I can explain it. And I don't think a lot of people could really read through it and feel that way, because it is a very difficult read, and I'm shocked that I can even do it. Unless somebody really wants to get into the nitty-gritty, I don't know that they're going to want to read it. But I thought I could take the general idea of what it's talking about, because at this point I've read it enough that I think I finally get it, and I want to share that with others. So I wanted to start today with the golden rule, which we all know is do unto others as you would have one do unto you. But take it a step further, because when you're talking about somebody else, you're talking about a completely different personality, perspective. It goes beyond just treating somebody how you would want them to treat you. It's empathizing, understanding how they might be seeing the world, and treating them how you'd want to be treated if you were looking at the world in that way. So if I'm talking about someone who sees the world completely different than me, do I want to treat them as though I would want to be treated, or do I want to treat them as though I would want to be treated as if I thought like they do? I hope that's making sense. So I feel like I am empathic in a lot of ways, which can be a double-edged sword, because sometimes I overthink how the other person's feeling. But then I have friends, and I know people in my life who don't have that at all. Like, they don't have a clue how other people are feeling. They can't read body language. Like, I can read body language and see someone's uncomfortable, but I can see someone else talking through that and not reading the body language at all. So if you don't have that ability to, that empathic ability, you wouldn't really know the perception of the other. So that would be a little more challenging, but I feel like I can do that. So we all have that one person we're probably trying to rectify a relationship or deal with, whether it be a family member, a partner, somebody we work with. It could be anyone, but we all have, I think, that one person we can hone in on. And I have that one person, and there's all kinds of conflict going on. And what's hard for me is we are in such different places. We see things so differently. So I guess my plan would be to try to put myself in her position. And then if I were in that position, how would I want to be treated? But at the same time, I have to keep my own self in check, my own feelings in check. So when you say do unto others, you've got to keep in mind to continue to respect yourself and your own boundaries. I think that's where it can get complicated, because you have to know your own boundaries, and you can treat somebody else with respect, but keep in mind that you got to keep all boundaries in check. So keeping in your boundaries and their boundaries. Find that common ground, keeping everyone's boundaries in mind. If you could do that and then treat the person as though it's one entity, not me versus that person, it's me and that person together, I think that might be the key. So that's food for thought. Do unto others, but also keep in mind that you're involved too. So you don't do unto others by putting your own self at risk of overstepping a boundary. So keep within your own boundaries. Try to see it as one, this whole relationship as one, and proceed in the way that will best meet your needs and the other person's needs, and hope that you can find that common ground. All right, I gotta run in. I hope that made sense, and I hope that's helpful to somebody, and we will continue. Bye, guys. Good afternoon. So this morning we discussed a little bit about do unto others, and I want to sort of continue on that trend. I know you can utilize the do unto others for anyone, but I'm specifically referring to somebody in general who is actually moving back to town tomorrow. So I am feeling a lot of anxiety surrounding this and how I'm going to handle it, because I want to handle it in a manner that respects my boundaries but also respects theirs. I know it's not just my boundaries that feel threatened sometimes. I know their opinion is that I push their boundaries as well. So that is the ongoing issue, right? And I think that is an issue in a lot of relationships where we have these expectations for another person, and if they don't fit into our comfort zone of expectations, then we see that as pushing our boundary. So we can do one of two things, right? We can try to loosen our boundaries and give a little leeway to try to meet them halfway, or you stay strong to your boundary and cut them off when they hit that. And in this type of situation, I think readjusting boundaries might be the best decision, because when I said do unto others, I did say think about yourself and them, right? And if you combine both of you and look at it as one, you can sort of see where, okay, compromise has to take place. So if my boundary's here and their boundaries here, somehow we figure out how to maneuver it so that nobody's feeling like their boundaries are being pushed, or I don't know. It's really difficult. I'm kind of processing aloud. So I just think in order to have a relationship that feels good, and we should all be able to get to that place where a relationship feels good, even if that means not talking to the person. Maybe that makes the relationship feel good, but there are times where you have to interact with the person, and you've got to decipher what it is that will bring some comfort to that relationship. And in my opinion, I want to see the relationship flourish, to grow and to flourish, and to learn how to start over in the relationship, to let go of past grievances and reset the boundaries so that the past grievances do not replicate themselves. If I sit here full of anxiety, expecting the worst, I'm really putting that energy out there to receive the worst. And I really don't want to do that. I want to look at this as, oh, good, we're going to have time to repair this relationship and hopefully to rebuild this relationship and learn how to respect one another while continuing to respect yourself. And rather than ramble, I'm going to leave it at that. I will be back tomorrow with hopefully some other advice that may help someone out there somewhere. That's all I'm hoping for. If this message gets to one person that it helps, then it's well worth it. All right, have a good night. Bye-bye.
We meet again, Francis. Our duel begins now.
Oh, you a teenage mutant ninja chicken out here, Donatello?
Oh, once I hop over this trash moat, you're dead. What's up now, Francis?